In the 1850s, the British East India Company, a trading company that operated in India, established a tea plantation in Darjeeling. When India became independent from Britain in 1947, Darjeeling fell under the jurisdiction of West Bengal. Darjeeling is a district with a long history and an interesting culture. It is tucked away from the rest of the country and has been shaped by its unique geography. The Darjeeling district is one of the most picturesque regions in West Bengal. It is also known as the Queen of Hills. It has many tea plantations and borders Nepal to its north. Darjeeling is well known for its tea production, and it produces some very high-quality teas which are exported across the world. The region also attracts thousands of tourists every year due to its natural beauty. The tea industry in the Darjeeling district is a major contributor to the Indian economy. Its culture and people have been shaped by the industry. Tea has been a major part of Darjeeling society since 1839, when it was first planted in this area. It was largely due to the efforts of Mr. James Taylor that this plant was introduced to India from China, and he became known as the father of tea planting in India. In 1853, he won a silver medal for his efforts at an international exhibition in London. The Indian government renamed the district from Senchal to Darjeeling after his success with planting tea there. My journey recorded the places, customs and traditions in Senchal, and this rich history will be narrated in this video. Senchal is a tourist destination due to its natural beauty, extreme weather conditions, great flora and fauna. It is called a heaven on earth as it offers its visitors the biggest mountain range of the world with the highest mountain peak, Mount Kanchenjunga. If you are a nature lover, then the views of the blue valleys and the pine forests will fascinate you. If you are a wildlife lover, then the place is well suited for trekking with the river, lush vegetation, and the occasional tiger sighting. Senchal is also called Gateway of West Garo Hills or Singadari of West Garo Hills. The road leading to Senchal is lush green on both sides. As my journey continues through the Darjeeling district, I came across this hidden valley, the Senchal Valley in West Bengal, India. This is about a man's first-hand experience, a narration of a personal land, and an ode to our vanishing wilderness. The Senchal Valley was discovered by accident in 1859 by John Claude White, who was an assistant surgeon with the Bengal Medical Service at that time. In the first half of the 19th century, as British interest in natural history grew, many new species were discovered across India, and it became fashionable to collect animal and plant specimens from remote areas. It was out of this curiosity that White set out on his dangerous expedition to the Senchal Valley, and he found it surprisingly well preserved and untouched because it had been avoided by hunters and cultivators. He made friends with the local tribesmen who helped him collect plant specimens for his collection back in England. He called the valley after them, Senchal. The Senchal Wildlife Sanctuary is a protected area in the Darjeeling Himalayan region of India. It was established in 1915 to preserve the natural environment and endemic flora and fauna inhabiting it. Some animals found here are the leopard, tiger, elephant, deer, red panda, goral, and Himalayan black bear. It has been noted that this wildlife sanctuary has one of the highest densities of tigers in the world. It also provides habitat for barking deer, wild boar, jungle cat, rhesus monkey, Assam macaque, Himalayan flying squirrel. The sanctuary is also rich in bird life. The two Senchal lakes supply drinking water to the town of Darjeeling. The sanctuary consists of compactly blended natural and man-made forests, dominated by oak and followed by kapasi, caddis, kala, champ, and so on. The temperature in the region ranges from 1.7 during the cold season to 18.9 degrees Celsius during the hot season. It is one of the oldest wildlife sanctuaries of India and covers an area of about 15 square miles. The elevation of the region lies in between 1,500 to 2,600 meters. From 16 September 1979, the West Bengal government further improved the protection status of the region and helped in the conservation of the biodiversity in the area. The model has been followed by other conservationists in the region, as well as in the neighboring countries of Bangladesh and Nepal. Senchal Lake is located 10 kilometers to the southeast of Darjeeling. It is the main reservoir of potable water for the township. The lake is located at an altitude of 2,487 meters at the top of a hill. The hill has one of the highest golf courses in the world. Senchal is also a favorite picnic spot. A tourist lodge provides accommodation to the tourists. This lake is a part of the Senchal Wildlife Sanctuary. As the population is increasing, the shortage of drinking water is on the rise even here, although many rivers flows through the region. Better water management initiatives are expected from the managing authorities. The cloud forest around is the source of many creeks and streams. The narrow and long Senchal Lake is situated 10 kilometers away from the core forest area. This road, also called the Old Military Road, leads deep inside the restricted zones. It was constructed by the British during the Anglo-Bhutan Wars with the help of local Nepali people who fought alongside them. The road was used even a few decades ago by illegal logging vehicles. All the human activities in the past few centuries has left its mark here. There is a very tiny settlement here along with a forest rest house. Although entry to the sanctuary is restricted, you can take permission from Jorabunglo area and take a guide along with you to enter the forest. He will drive along while you enjoy the flora and fauna of the place. There are over 350 types of flowering plants in the area, including rhododendrons and orchids. Rhododendron wine is locally produced in the households. Other plantations include dupi, capice, caddis, kala, champ, hemlock, different kinds of fern, mating bamboo, and so on. Rhododendrons are usually seen above 2,400 meters of elevation. You can see subtropical flora, such as Meliosma wallacei, Macula segilis, and Piklu in the elevation range of 1,500 to 2,000 meters. The sanctuary is also great for bird watching. You can commonly see golden-backed woodpeckers, emerald cuckoos, black-backed pheasants, red jungle fowl, hornbills, babblers, and sunbirds, along with many other species. The sanctuary is not accessible during the monsoon season. The people who settled there descended from the plantation workers, porters, and the road workers who worked under the British authorities. Nowadays, tourism is their primary source of income. Life is tough but peaceful for most people in the region. The population in the hills, surveyed 10 years ago, was nearly 6.5 lakh, which is nearly 40% of the total population. The original inhabitants of the Darjeeling Hills were the Lepchas or Rongpas, meaning the ravine people. The Limbus and other Karenni peoples are other ancient inhabitants of this district. Other communities with a long history in the district include Tamang, Gurung, Magar, Nur, Thami, Chetri, Bahan, Kami, Damai, and others. There is also a sizable population of Tibetans who arrived from Tibet since the 1950s. Over time, the ethnic distinctions between the hill people have blurred, and today most will identify themselves as Gorkhas and will speak in Nepali. In the plains, the Bengalis are in majority, while there are large numbers of Gorkhas and Adivasis who migrated from Chotanagpur and Santhal Parganas. Both in the hills and plains there are various migrants from other regions as well, including Biharis, Marwaris, and Punjabis. Nepali, Hindi, Bengali, and English are the prevailing languages of the Darjeeling Hills. Bengali is the official language of the district, with Nepali being declared as the co-official language only in Darjeeling and Kurseong subdivisions. Nepali is the dominant language in the hills, spoken by more than 90% of the people in Darjeeling, Kurseong, and Mirik subdivisions, although most hill inhabitants are not from Khas communities. Several hundred of the original hill inhabitants still speak their original languages like Lepcha, Limbu, Rai, Sherpa, and Tamang. The main language used in the Siliguri subdivision is Bengali. It is followed by a sizable number of Kanapuri or Rajbanshi speakers. Among the Adivasis, Sadri is the main language, although most still speak their original languages like Kuruk, Mundari, and Santali. This races, along with their distinctive ethnicity, keeps the region vibrant and dynamic, making the hospitality and tourism of the region well established and popular. Buddhism is the highlighted religion of the region. Although majority of the population identifies themselves as Hindus, Christianity and Buddhism holds a minor position in terms of faith. The Buddhist monasteries are major tourist attractions. Long history of colonial past can be observed throughout the district. In the recent past, these footages were captured with mobile cameras and were being shared with me. Since the region is not known to many, especially outside India, I chose to share the footages with everyone rather than discarding them due to their qualities. The region holds rich heritage, culture, and wildlife, thus making it easier for me to script an idea. The video through the forest will take us all along the journey through the Senchal forest as it happened. It's a short ride, but it is a treat for nature lovers. The roads are all unpaved, and there is always a considerable chance of animal sighting in the region. Geographically, the district is divided into two broad divisions of the hills and the plains. The entire hilly region of the district comes under the Gorkhaland Territorial Administration, a semi-autonomous administrative body under the state government of West Bengal. This body covers the three hill subdivisions of Darjeeling, Kurseong, and Mirik, and the district of Kalimpong. The foothills of Darjeeling Himalayas, which comes under the Siliguri subdivision, is known as the Teri. The district is bounded on the north by Sikkim, on the south by Kishanganj district of Bihar state, on the southeast by Panchgarh district of Bangladesh, on the east by Kalimpong and Jalpaiguri, and on the west by Nepal. Darjeeling district has a length from north to south of 18 miles and a breadth from east to west of 16 miles. As of 2011, it was the second least populous district of West Bengal, after South Dinajpur. The main economy is generated through tea industry and tourism. The etymological term of Darjeeling is denoted Tajanglam, which is a Yaktan Limbu terminology that means the stones that talk to each other. The name Darjeeling is also acclaimed from the Tibetan words Dorji, which is the thunderbolt scepter of the Hindu deity Indra, and Ling, which means a place or land. The history of the region can be easily tracked down to the ancient kingdom of Limuan. After the emergence of the British Raj, the rails and roads were constructed for the transportation of various natural commodities into the plains and eventually to the ports of Calcutta. The tea industry of the region is highly monopolized and resulted in the creation of a marginalized population of low-wage industrial workers. The living condition and basic amenities have diminished significantly for the garden workers and daily wage earners, especially after the pandemic. Both tourism and tea industry was hit hard. The region is still recovering. Globally, the importance of the cloud forests are well known, especially its significance in the production of natural water. Apart from water, cloud forests provide numerous benefits to human beings: timber, firewood, building materials, medicinal plants, wild fruits, and honey. Several highly valued tropical timber trees are harvested from these forests. Cloud forests also play an important role in climate modulation, carbon sequestration, and preventing landslides. They are culturally important, with many ethnic groups acting as their shepherds. But despite their benefits, cloud forests are among the most threatened ecosystems on Earth due to the combined effects of population growth, land use, and climate change. Timber extraction, clearing land for mining, agriculture, or grazing, illegal poaching, and unsustainable harvesting of medicinal plants are all the common activities which threaten these ecosystems. Problems for the cloud forests are compounded by the fact that the trees grow slowly because of the low temperatures and nutrient-poor soils. These forests take a long time to recover after disturbance. Climate change is another concern. With increased temperatures, the cloud base rises and clouds are formed at higher altitudes. As a result, some areas of cloud forest no longer have clouds and become drier, and eventually the trees die or cannot regenerate. So what can be done to save them? Finding the balance between forest conservation and sustainable use is particularly challenging, and lack of accurate data and insight into these ecosystems hampers management interventions. So it is necessary for the local people of these areas to work with the researchers in order to collect climate data, share their views on preliminary findings, and suggest potential management interventions, such as limited harvesting of certain species. This partnership approach ensures a greater understanding of the way the cloud forest functions, and also helps to identify conservation strategies which do not exclude local communities. The Senchal Wildlife Sanctuary, as we observed, is in pristine touch. Ensuring the safety of this ecosystem is of utmost importance for the millions of people living in the big cities at the plains of West Bengal. Sometimes we wonder why we travel and why we all like to explore the planet. We all go because we seek change. We seek something different. A change of self, attitude, daily routine, or impressions of another culture. Change is the one thing travel brings us. The constant change creates a chance for us to come to terms with the world around us and find out who we are. Also, the world is like a book. If we don't travel, or if we don't watch others doing so, we only come to know one page of it. Here we traveled through the Himalayas and experienced its hidden treasure, beauty, and magnificence. I will highly recommend travelers and hikers to visit the district of Darjeeling for its tradition and beauty. In the recent past, the West Bengal government has taken special initiatives in order to revive the economy and tourism of the area, as a result of which new destinations are emerging and opportunities are on the rise. People of the region are getting new hopes. Travelers and nature lovers all around the world are especially welcome to comment and to ask for any further queries. The West Bengal Tourism Department website also holds key information. As our journey continued towards the nearest railway transport facility, my short stay at the district was over. We drove for an hour or more to reach the plains, which is well connected by rail, roads, and airways with the rest of the country. And thus concluded the sojourn.